And we are live. Okay, there we are. Hey, Bleach, how are you? And I just kicked my globe, damn it. I need to find... Okay, I need to go here. Okay. And... There we go. I'm going to set my phone right there so I can see. There we go. That's perfect. Just check one thing. Also, I need to do one thing before I forget here. How is everyone today? All right, so let's see. Okay. So honestly, I have not touched this book since I got it, like all the way back in, when did I get this? 2011. I haven't touched it for like 8 years. I've just never had the time to read it, but I'm reading it now for the stream for you guys. So before I get into this, guys, I'm sorry about last week. Like why, like there was no cryptid ratings, and some people were asking about that. I had the video filmed, and then my SD card decides to stop working and delete my shit. So luckily I had like mostly all my pictures, music backed up, so it wasn't a big deal. But like actually they were all on that SD card. I put them on my computer. Everything was still there except that cryptid ratings video, and I just haven't had the time to film it this week. So that's why it came out later yesterday actually. And then the reason for not streaming on Friday or yesterday, is that something else? That might have been something else on camera. I don't know. I think there was something else on camera just a minute ago. I really don't know. But the reason that I didn't stream yesterday or Friday was because I had work. Um, I work on a food truck. We had an event going on at college, and my food truck needed like had a gig there, so they had me go along with them. And then yesterday, I catered a graduation party on the food truck, and they need all the help they could get for that. So they had me come with them as well. So I knew about all this ahead of time, though. So I planned streaming on Sunday, and um, yeah, I actually would have streamed um earlier today. Like it's not my normal time. It's like 8:30 now. I would usually stream at 7, but it's been my mom's birthday. It was actually yesterday, but my dad and I had to work. My mom had to go to my grandma's, so we all just decided to celebrate it today. So we just had cake. That's why it took me a little bit, and I was just waiting for my phone to charge up a bit. Um so yeah, that's why the stream's a little late today. So I apologize, guys. We went to the art museum today. I got to see the fucking mummies. That's why I wore my King Tut shirt today. Um, and yeah, I actually took some pictures of like some cryptids that are in and mythical creatures that are actually in some of the artwork there. So I'll upload those to my Twitter or Instagram if you guys want to see them, because it's actually really cool. Oh dear God, that burger is not agreeing with me whatsoever. I'm gonna be burping this whole stream, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, they are, but I fucking love them. They have good shit there. They have mummies there and everything. Like they have like this little X-ray thing, like one of the mummies that you can kind of play with a bit, and it shows like the different layers that are inside the sarcophagus and like the skeleton, the wrappings, all that stuff. And if you look closely on one of the wrappings, on some of the wrappings on one of the mummies, you can actually see like hieroglyphs written on them, which is actually really cool. I love Egypt, so it's one of my favorite things. So I was I was happy to go see him again. I've been there like a few times last year, but it was good to see him again. So, with that being said, guys, let's get started. So, welcome to Cryptocast, your source for all things crypto related, unknown, paranormal. I'm your host, Parker, and welcome back to another live stream. So, I had you guys vote on Twitter um, on which book I should read today. So, I had what were my choices actually? That's not my. There we go. That is. So Real Monsters is this one book that talks about like a bunch of different cryptids and other creatures as well, which was pretty cool. The Loch Ness Monster was one that just it's about the Loch Ness Monster, obviously. Got those both at half price books on clearance for $3. I'm gonna go back and get the werewolf one at some point. Um if it's still there, obviously. But I also got a new magazine that talks about ghosts and Bigfoot book. But yeah, majority of you guys wanted me to read the Bigfoot book, so that's what I'm reading today. So this is honestly not new. Like I said before, I had this thing since 2011. I just touched it. That's when I was just really getting into cryptozoology and everything. So this was like a big step for me. This is like my very first cryptid book, and I don't know why I'm tapping it like that, but so it's. I remember my dad. Like I went to Barnes and Noble with him one day, and I asked. I'm just like, this is a really cool book, and it was like, I don't know how much should I actually pay for this. There's no price on the back. I'm pretty sure this was like at least $20. And I asked my dad, we went to Barnes and Noble one day. I'm like, can I get this? This is so cool. This is about Bigfoot. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna love it. It's gonna be the best book ever. And he's like, yeah, sure, as long as you read it. 8 years later, I'm reading it right now. So yeah. Sorry, Dad, if you are watching this. He does watch my streams sometimes. Well, like after I upload them. So, Sasquatch, True Life Encounters with Legendary Ape-Men. And there are pictures in this book. So, I'm going to show you some of the pictures too when they come up. Now, obviously, we won't be able to finish this whole book during the stream, but we can try. Oh, here's some cool pictures. So, they kind of look like silhouettes to you guys. I don't know if you guys can see them really well, but we have the Yowie. That's the first one you see. The one next to that's the orang pendek. The one that's kind of like right on the fold is the urine. The one next to that, that tall one, like doing like jazz hands, is the Yeti. The small one's the Maracoxy, and the one that's smaller than that, wearing the pants, that is the Wild Man. So I saw Bigfoots from all over the world. So this was really cool when I got this as a kid. So let's honestly start off with the introduction. If we are to take the reports at face value, it would seem that gigantic, upright hominid apes are stomping around North America in large numbers. They are said to steal food from campsites, attack cars, and leer through bedroom windows. Bigfoots are peeping Toms now, that's confirmed. They like to creep on people at night, look in their bedroom windows, and take pictures for their gangs. According to some accounts, they might run off as soon as a human approaches, but it seems that they are just as likely to kidnap hapless intruders and force them to live in the forest for months on end. And there actually have been reports of Bigfoots kidnapping people. They're also reputed to smell terrible, kind of like me if I forget to put on deodorant. These creatures are called Bigfoot and Sasquatch. Hominid apes have also been seen wandering the jungles of South America. Although they appear to be smaller and less human-like than those of the North, however, it is not just in the Americas that these apes are to be found. The high Himalayas are home to the enigmatic Yeti. The Sumatran jungles harbor a short, hairy man called the orang pendek. A short, hairy man. That sounds like my neighbor from down the street. And Central Asia is stalked by a being that might be a primitive form of human, which the locals call the Almas. And there's actually a really cool story about that. I'll have to get to that if it's in here. Over the border in China, reports are made of an almost identical beast called the Yiren. While even Australia gets to know the fact that they have a hairy ape called the Yowie. My one friend, he runs a Facebook page, and he has somebody who's like a really good expert on the Yowies and everything. Like he does research on them and everything, and really cool. I'll see if I can ask just again. I mean, he let me do it last time, but I'll ask to get permission if I can put the link to that Facebook group in the bio. Because if you guys like Bigfoot, you like this group. Shout out to you, Thomas. He'll be making an appearance on the show again as soon as he gets back from doing whatever he's doing. So we'll have him on the show again. We're going to talk about some other Bigfoot related stuff at some point. So if you guys like Bigfoot, get ready for that. What all these animals, or perhaps humans, have in common is that conventional science does not recognize their existence. What if they're just hobos that haven't shaved their cut? That's actually, my dad and I always used to joke about that, like, oh my god, it's Bigfoot. Oh no, that's just a big hairy man. Not the bear community, just hobo hairy men. Oh, so where was I? Science does not recognize their existence, so they are classified as cryptids or hidden ones. That is, sightings have been reported, but there is not enough evidence to satisfy the scientific community. Yeah, because the scientific community, they take a lot of proof. Like you actually have to like literally have one of these things captive or like gutted or something, bring into the science table and be like, hey guys, look what I got. This thing's real. Fuck all of you guys who said it's not. Um, The standard of evidence needed is high. Each of these creatures will be seen as a cryptid until an example, living or dead, is produced for examination. Like they physically have to see it or they don't believe it. It's just kind of like doubting Thomas with Jesus almost. Yeah, they did need a yeah, gorillas did need a corpse until they were verified. Like the lowland mountain gorillas, those were considered cryptids, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, there's something up there we don't know what it is." And they found gorillas in a part of the world that they shouldn't live in, so there was a new species of gorilla, which is actually really cool. Um, However, if a suitable example or type specimen to use the scientific term were produced, the beast would be accepted as a known animal. And yet there is ample proof that some, at least, of these cryptids are real animals. So people do believe that there is like evidence, and there most certainly is, despite detailed sketches in my would exact yeah. And yet there's ample proof that some. Okay, yeah, I talked about that. The existence of the Sasquatch is supported by an impressive mass of evidence, and the quality of some of it is very convincing. However, it must be admitted but the remaining evidence can be of poor quality. In some instances, it has been it has even been falsified by hoaxers. Um, a smaller amount of evidence points to the existence of the other man-beast cryptids, but what is there that can be extreme? But what there is can be extremely persuasive. Even so, most scientists refuse to accept the reality of these beasts. The purpose of this book is to study and review the evidence for the existence of the cryptid man-like or ape-like creatures, but before launching into the hunt for the unknown is as well to deal with a few general points and principles. First, it is important to clear the great many cryptids have been accepted as known animals by the scientific world. Among these have been the gorilla and the okapi, um, which are the sub which were the subject of wild tales among the tribesmen of Africa. These tales were widely discounted by European scientists, but the creatures were written off as fabulous. But when a type specimen was produced, the scientific world rapidly accepted the reality of these beasts and set off to investigate them thoroughly. Those days are not over yet. Cryptids are still making it into reality. Around 20 new species of mammals alone have been accepted by science every year since the mid 1990s. Yes, and the platypus as well. Let me see. Most of these beasts are fairly small and are simply new species of already accepted types of animal, but not all of them. Oh, excuse me. That burger is not agreeing with me. People living in Vietnamese forests have for years been telling Europeans about a large antelope-like creature that is very rare, very shy, and lives in the dense mountain forests of Ninh An and Ha Tinh provinces. But nobody took the tale seriously until 1992 when a zoologist was handed a pair of horns that he could not identify. Such hard evidence demanded further investigation, so an expedition was organized and set into the mountains. Within a very short time, the members of the party had been shown one of the mystery creatures by a local huntsman. The Saola has been accepted as a known animal ever since. Okay, so I have a debate topic for you guys in the live chat or in the comment section or where you prefer to do this. Um, do you feel like hoaxers, like people who have like hoax Bigfoot videos and stuff like that, do you think that they are actually good for the community in a way because like they can since they hoax like for a living and stuff like I mean not for a living they just like people who hoax all the time, do you think they'll be able to recognize like that is not a hoax, that is real, or yes that is a hoax? I did something like that similar back in my college days or something. Like, do you feel like hoaxers like bring like anything to the cryptic community at all, like with helping people I guess like helping identify stuff and making it and pointing out fakes and reals and I mean fakes and truths? Do you think um yeah they do. Yeah, I admit that, WIFA. And that's what I was kind of going for. Like, do they like hoax versus real? So I mean There are some people who are, like, super good at hoaxing shit, and there are people who just, like, this literally looks like something, like, out of VeggieTales, like, in the real world, just sitting there. Like, I don't know why people would think, like, some horrible shit is believable, but you never know. People are gullible these days. Within a very short time, the members of the party eventually. Okay, there you go. There are thought to be only a few hundred of them browsing on the leaves in the forest, but whether the animal is part of the bovine species or is a type of antelope or goat remains unclear. The fact that such a large mammal could live unknown to science came as something of a surprise to many people. It indicates that it is possible for large animals to hide from science with surprising ease, given the right conditions. Many people who are engaged in the hunt for cryptids, they are generally known as cryptozoologists, can feel resentment towards the scientific establishment as a whole, and some individual scientists in particular. There is a feeling that scientists have deliberately closed their minds to the possible existence of cryptid hominids. Any evidence put forward is dismissed as mistaken or a hoax. Sometimes, after no more than a cursory examination, some scientists seem determined to prove that such cryptids do not exist, to the extent that several have been accused of willfully misinterpreting data to back up their stance. What is? I'm gonna. I can't watch that right now. We focus during the middle of stream, but if you could send it to me on Kick, I'll check it out. I really want to see that. In some instances, such criticism is no doubt justified, but to be fair, scientists as a whole must be acknowledged that they often work under constraints. The scientists working in areas most clearly related to cryptid hominids are zoologists, studying primates. They might spend much of their time teaching students and marking papers, and any time that they devote to research must be funded by universities or public bodies or of one kind or another. Research funding is much in demand. It is generally only awarded to projects that are put forward by scientists who are already experienced in the field and so have a reasonable chance of producing a significant result. All right, we are almost done with the introduction for this book. Producing science a significant result. It also helps if the research project includes something that is currently fashionable in the academic world. A prime example being climate change in the years after 2005. Sasquatch Yetis and the like simply do not fit this pattern. Really sad, actually. It's sad. The study of these creatures is not supported by a mass of pre-existing data. It does not offer a good chance of scientific result, and is not promoted by scientists already highly experienced in the field of cryptid hominids, because there aren't any. Because there aren't any. Above all, this field is not fashionable in the way that climate change is, so the chances of any scientist getting the research backing practically nil. Um, some scientists who have chosen to devote some of their time to cryptids have been instructed by their employers to drop the subject and spend their time studying something more likely to produce a positive result. Scientists are only human in that they often have families to support and so understandably do not want to fall foul of their employers. That said, a growing number of scientists are willing to devote such of their spare time to looking into cryptid hominids because they are prepared to analyze evidence collected by field researchers who are inevitably not professional scientists. They have been produced by a body of evidence that something living is out there. At the same time, they also successfully identified hoaxes and misidentification. It can surprisingly it can be surprisingly easy to misidentify something, particularly if it is a living creature seen only fleeting in poor light conditions. In July 1978, three 12-year-old boys reported meeting a human-like animal near Audison in Iowa. They were walking home from school when they saw the creature standing upright in a cornfield. It was, they said, 5 feet, 152 centimeters tall. It had deep set eyes and was covered in brown fur. As the startled boys stood watching the being watch them back, when they began to retreat, the beast dropped down on all fours and shook its head, and then it moved off to investigate some trash bins. The boys fled, but looking back, they saw the thing rummaging for food, sometimes on 4 feet and sometimes in two. The creature was identified as Bigfoot. However, its appearance, behavior, and way of moving sounds very much like that of a bear. It's more likely that the creature was a bear that the boys mistook for what they saw. In 1988, a strange animal was found dead on a highway in Florida. Those who saw it were convinced it was a cougar. This caused some excitement because the cougar has been extinct in Florida for generations, although there have been reports of distinct species of cougar in the eastern United States. The body was studied, but it turned out to be that of a large, tawny, colored domestic dog that had become bloated and as decomposition had set in with the Florida heat. There have also been hoaxes. In October 1985, the Pennsylvania police force arrested a man charged him with wasting police time. He had been in the habit of dressing up in a gorilla suit, then going out at night um, to prance about alongside remote rural roads, scaring passersby. People nowadays, if you did that, dressing up as Bigfoot, running along the roadside, people, you're bound to get shot nowadays if you do that. Several passing motorists had reported a Bigfoot sighting to the local police after seeing the man. Of course, the police never found a Bigfoot, but they wasted several hours looking for one. The man was fined $50. I mean, $50 isn't bad, but I mean, it's still $50 that he could have easily spent on, something else. Like he could have bought, he could have bought something else with that. He could have bought um, food for his family, food for his dog, a sack of dildos. You don't know what that guy could have bought with that $50. Against this background of a hoax and error, it is perhaps understandable that many scientists look askance at the whole cryptid field. It would do their reputations and their employment prospects no good at all to become the victim of a hoax or to mistake a bear for an unknown species of ape. The study and documentation of these cryptids is therefore largely left to non-professionals. Some pop out to the woods for a weekend here and there, others devote almost their entire lives to the quest. The amount of evidence they have produced is amazing, and it forms the basis for this book. No tribute to these people and their dedication can be enough because they have spent huge amounts of time and money on the quest. This quest is not only demanding in terms of time and money, but it can also be dangerous. In October 1989, Bruce Davis and his wife went missing in Florida. Davis had spent years searching for the skunk ape, a Florida variant of the Sasquatch that we will be looking at later in this book. The police found the couple's car first, and then their overturned canoe was discovered some 12 miles, 19 kilometers away. Their bodies were never recovered. Presumably, some tragic accident overtook them. There may also be some confusion over hominid and hominoid. The terms that are used when discussing the cryptids animals of the type dealt with in this book. In scientific terms, a hominid is an animal that belongs to the ape family. Gorillas and chimpanzees are both hominids. Oh no, hominoids. I misread that. That's hominoids. Are Oh no, hominid is an animal that belongs to the ape family. Okay. So that's like okay. I'm sorry, guys. I misread that horribly. They're so similar in writing. So hominid is an animal that belongs to the ape family. Um, Gorillas and chimpanzees are both hominoids, um, as are the numerous species of extinct apes known through fossils. Hominids are creatures. Oh, no, hominoid is the okay. I am misreading this shit. Okay. So those are hominoids. Hominids are creatures that belong to the genus Homo or are immediately ancestral to such animals. So far as has been definitely proven, there is only one hominid living today, ourselves. Numerous extinct hominids are known from fossils, but these remains are frequently only partial, and there is much controversy about how the different fossil hominids are related to each other and to modern humans. Finally, I should explain why the names of these cryptid beasts are capitalized. For instance, Australian cryptid hominid is the yowie, not the Yowie. Okay, just capital Y, lowercase y. You know where I'm going. The system was developed by Richard Greenwell in 1986 when he was the editor of the Journal of the International Society of Cryptozoology. Excuse me, I am burping like shit today. The problem was that some cryptids were known to locals and to cryptozoologists by a variety of names. To bring order to the confusion, Greenwell decided that any local or informal names of cryptids should be given in italics, while the widely used name for that animal among cryptozoologists should be in Roman type, but take a capital letter. However, if the cryptid became accepted, it should adopt the cryptozoological name in lowercase Roman type. Thus, the mysterious ape of the Himalayas might be referred to scientists as the Yeti and the Metokangami or the Bad Manchi, or it might be the Yeti. If the creature is proved to exist, it would simply be known as the Yeti. Such neat distinctions are for the scientists. However, most writers simply write about the Sasquatch, the Yeti, or the Yowie. It's to be hoped that before long, even scientists will be writing about the Sasquatch, not the Sasquatch, just a weird uppercase, lowercase letter. The Yeti, not the Yeti. Orang Pendek, not the Orang Pendek, and perhaps even the Yowie, not the Yowie. All right, guys, that was the intro out of the way. We are on chapter 1. Frontier Tales. Like I said, this is a huge book. I'm not going to get through this entire thing today, but we'll try our best to see how far we get. Excuse me. Okay, I love Red Robin. The Whiskey River Burger is amazing, but it's not agreeing with me. I like it, but it doesn't like me. The Sasquatch. Okay, so this is first impressions. Excuse me. The Sasquatch or Bigfoot hit the world's headlines in 1958. When the members of a construction crew building a road through the Bluff Creek area of remote northern California were thrown into a panic when their work site was visited by an elusive beast that threw their tools about and left footprints that looked human except for their enormous size. The local newspaper dubbed the unseen creature Bigfoot. One of the workmen, Jerry Crew, poured plaster of Paris into one of the footprints, thereby producing a solid piece of evidence. A photograph of that footprint cast, paired with the evocative name of Bigfoot, propelled the story out of the local media and onto the national, and then the international stage. But the Jerry Crew encounter of 1958 was very far from being the first time that the Sasquatch or Bigfoot had even come across by humans. While some investigators were concentrating on the footprints around Bluff Creek and elsewhere, others were looking back into the past. They reasoned that if the mystery footprint maker was a real creature, it must have been encountered before. It had. The native peoples of North America are the source of the oldest stories about the Sasquatch and might be expected. Each tribe has its own name for this creature. The Iroquois called it the Wendigo. Okay, that's not right, actually. Honestly, that's the first flaw I see in this book. Wendigo is an Algonquian creature that it's a really thin creature that is a cannibal. That's not right. Or the Witico, the Micmac called it the Chino, and the Penobscot, and the name Kiwaki. I don't know. I wouldn't say goat. I'd say it's more of a it's more portrayed as a deer. Yeah, people stereotype it like as a steer. Like they say it has like The B BFRO, the book. I mean, oh, well. Hey, Lily, how are you? European folklorists, the first people who came across these stories in any number, used the general term Wendigo. However, they treated the tales as little better than fairy stories and concentrated on the fictional element, no matter how much the native peoples insisted that the creatures were real. The problem with these early reports from a scientific point of view is that they are not only rather vague, but they also contain no details of time or place. They simply talk about the animals as they might talk about bear or elk. The creatures are described as being covered all over in fur and looking like a very large human. It is said that they avoid humans and live in remote forested areas where they are active mostly at night. Oh, okay. I never really watched that show as a kid. I only watched it like one episode and I hated it. I'm sorry to say I hated it as a kid. Let's see. Interestingly, the further away from forested mountains that researchers got, the more stories they collected about this creature became detached from reality. While the tribes of British Columbia treated the Sasquatch as just another animal, albeit a rather special one that was akin to humans, the Ojibwe of the plains regarded it as a messenger from the gods. The appearance of a Sasquatch was seen as a bad omen, a sign that supernatural trouble was on the way. Okay, guys, we're going to do a debate here. Mountain monsters or finding Bigfoot? Which is the most cringy? Type it in the live chat right now. Finding Bigfoot or mountain monsters? You decide. The name Sasquatch comes from the writings of J.W. Burns, the guy from The Simpsons, who was a teacher on the Chehalis Indian Reserve in British Columbia. It is an anglicization of the word that is more properly rendered as Sesquek. And I admit they do sometimes have some legit shit, but like a lot of time it's faked. And the it is a cringy show, and the main guy who's in charge of finding Bigfoot, his name is fucking Matt Moneymaker. I I can't trust that guy. I can't trust Matt Moneymaker with a name like Moneymaker. It's kind of hard to trust the guy. Like, okay, your name's Matt Moneymaker, and you're making a show about Bigfoot, claiming that you found evidence and all this shit. Like, are you just in it for the money? Is that why your name's Moneymaker, or are you like, I don't know. It's just it's sketchy as all fuck. But the name has now stuck. Although it was first used more widely in Canada than the United States, many researchers now prefer it to the tabloid sounding Bigfoot. So far as Burns was concerned, though, he was just collecting folk tales and legends with no basis in reality. Like others working with the indigenous peoples, he did not take the stories of gigantic hairy man apes seriously. But J.W. Burns soon realized that tribesmen considered the Sasquatch to be ultra real. In May 1938, he was at a local festival when an official from the Canadian government touched on the subject. Of course, the speaker said, Sasquatch are merely imaginary Indian monsters. No white man has ever seen them, and they do not exist. The speaker then found himself pushed out of the way by Chief Flying Eagle um, of the Haukomelem. The white speaker is wrong, declared Flying Eagle. Some white men have seen Sasquatch. Many Indians have seen them. Sasquatch are still around here. I have spoken. So Chief Flying Eagle just literally just shoved this dude out of the way. He was like, "No, no, no. He's full of shit. Don't listen to this fucker. I've seen them. I've seen them." And honestly, at that point, I don't know. I'd have to go with honestly Chief Flying Eagle there. Not only did he just like, not only did he like, um, fucking like, literally just like super slam this guy out of the way, like just pummel drive like right into that man's spleen, just bursting it open at the seams. But um, but he just destroyed that reporter's just like his whole career right there in that one sentence. Well, if he was blind, he may have heard the tales about it. Like all these people are like, "Oh yeah," like he. I mean, like sometimes seeing isn't believing as well. Like you can just believe them without even seeing them. Chief Flying Eagle's white was right. Not he wasn't white. Okay, that could have gone horribly wrong. Chief Flying Eagle was right. White men had been reporting signs of the hairy ape-man of the woods for some years, as far back as 1793. The Boston Gazette was reporting on a big, hairy, and unidentified creature called the Chickley Cuddly. The Chickley Cuddly. Chickley Cuddly. Okay, a term um, that sees to be an anglicization of a Cherokee word translated as hairy man thing. Details of what the creature looked like or what it did, however, are however lacking. The oldest known contemporary account of a Sasquatch sighting comes from the 22 September 1818 edition of the Watchman newspaper in the New York State. This report states that a few days earlier near Ellisboro, a gentleman of unquestionable veracity saw an animal resembling a wild man of the woods. This would seem to indicate that the supported wild man of the woods was already a well-known figure of legend or rumor. The creature was described as being like a large man but covered in hair. It walked out of the trees onto a road a few yards back from the witness. Seeing the human, the creature turned and ran off, leaning forwards as it did so. It left footprints behind that were human-like but very wide at the toes. In 1851, hunters in Greene County, Arkansas, watched a Sasquatch apparently in the act of trying to catch a calf from a herd of domestic cattle. They described the creature as being an animal bearing the unmistakable likeness of humanity. He was gigantic. He was of gigantic stature, the body being covered with hair, and the head with long locks that fairly enveloped the neck and shoulders. So this thing was massive. As soon as the creature realized that humans were in the vicinity, it stopped chasing the cattle and stood staring at the humans. It then turned and ran off at high speed, leaving behind human-like footprints that were 13 inches, 32 centimeters long. The newspaper that reported the incident speculated that the creature was a human survivor of an earthquake that had taken place in 1811. It was thought that he had taken to an animal-like existence in order to survive, and so had acquired animal-like hair and appearance to go with it. This was a common theory in the 19th century. Okay, no, that's not how it works. Like, if you go feral out in the woods, you just don't grow like fur, like animal fur on your body. Like, fuck, if that was the case, I would have gone feral like years ago. That sounds fucking awesome. Just become like this wild animal in the woods just by like cutting yourself off from society and just running around the woods, and suddenly your hair just turns to animal fur and just envelops your body and become this like abomination creature. That actually sounds like fucking amazing. Like I would have gone feral like fucking years ago if that was the case. Mysterious intruder. In the 1860s, all humans needed. That's true. You know what I should do one day? Like on my second channel, there are woods by my house. I should just like get a camera, buy a bunch of batteries and shit, and just actually see if I can make it like a week in the woods, like away from people for like a whole week, just surviving like on the land and shit. You know, I should go camping. I miss camping. You know what I really want to do? I really want to go fishing again. I miss fishing. Like fishing used to be like one of my favorite things as a kid. And then I got older and I had to have a fishing license to fish, which I don't have. I just really want to go fishing again. I'm sorry if you hear my dogs up there. Ziggy, shush. I don't know if he can hear me. I just thought that would work. But no, I want to go fishing again. That's so fun. Oh, he's a Ziggy. Shush. Shush. I honestly have no idea if he can hear me. Yeah, I just need to go like to the Bermuda Triangle of the forest where no man has ever been before. If they have, they've never been heard from again. I just need to go like to the Bermuda Triangle of the forest. Oh, the Columbia. Okay, British Columbia. The forests there are scary as shit, man. What's in this bucket? Oh, it's just fish trash. Okay. It really is like I don't even know if Bear Grylls is like fucking brave enough to go into the British Columbian forest. Like, oh my god. You mean like that one, like the floating island? Like when you said floating island, all I could think of was that one like um floating island from like Avatar, from James Cameron's Avatar. Not the Last Airbender. That was a fucking shit movie. But I mean like the Blue People Avatar movie. I'm not gonna lie, I actually loved the Last Airbender when I was like a little kid, and then I got older. I'm just like, and like one day I was just in the shower, I'm just like, that movie fucking sucked. But no, the James Cameron's one was like, I loved it. It was a cinematic masterpiece. But yeah, James Cameron's like he's like a fucking genius. He's like, his Avatar movie was like a fucking cinematic masterpiece. Like, I need to watch that again. It's been too long. Apparently, there's supposed to be another one, and I want to go visit that one in Disney and just run off there and just go feral there or something. And I don't know. I just need to go like in the middle of the Everglades or something and just go feral one day. Just actually see if I can just like grow like my hair can like turn into like animal fur and just like engulf my body and like for it or something. Honestly, I'm from Missouri. We have the Ozarks here. I could always go in the Ozarks. I don't even know. Let me see. Honestly, and I saw what you said earlier too. I don't even have it. Like, well, let me see. Oh my god, I would love to bleach. Honestly, yeah, I just want to camp in the. I just want to. I really should just camp in the catacombs in Paris and just sleep with like all these dead bodies and bones just surrounding me. That's some actually really kinky shit. I mean, the more you think about it. Actually, no, that's I actually I don't know that's actually not really that kinky. That's actually necrophilia, and that's very very illegal and very very frowned upon. So actually, no, it's not kinky, but it would be cool as shit. I would, Bulldog. I will. I need to get that set up. Yeah, I need to get this working again. I need to have people call me. I miss that actually. I really do. But honestly, The only problem with calling in is, um, when I got it, like, a lot of people, like, just assumed, like, "Oh my god, we can we can prank call this guy." Oh, no, dude. Oh, dude, as tempting as that sounds, um, I wouldn't wanna fuck with the KKK, man. Oh, god, that's like some you know, that's like some Jason Bourne level shit. Like they probably have, like, an army of, like, people like, "Holy shit, we got a prank call, guys. We got the location. Let's go to his house." They just surround my house and, like, no, I would literally, like, shit myself right there. Oh my god, no, no, not John Wayne. I should, like, literally I should just, like no, if I ever prank called the KKK, I'd be like, "Hey, this is Dog the Bounty Hunter, man. I'm coming for you fuckers. I'm coming for you, racist fucks. I'm Dog the Bounty Hunter." Honestly, I do hope Dog the Bounty Hunter's wife's doing okay. I know she's had, like, throat cancer multiple times, and I don't know the state she's in now, but I know last time I checked, she wasn't doing too great, so, honestly, I do hope, she's doing good. I used to love that show as a kid, Dog the Bounty Hunter, and I just been watching a little bit again just for nostalgia's sake, and I don't even know how they get away with, like, half the shit they do. Like, half the stuff they do can't even be legal, like, I don't even know how they do it. What happened last time you prank called the KKK? Ziggy, shush! I hear you up there. Shush. But yeah, again, the only problem with me with I want to get that up again, but like the only problem with with people calling in is like I get like all these people like before like I got like some prank callers like this one dude like said the N word on one of my streams. I'm like, holy shit! And just all these weird ass people used to call me. Oh wait, that's right. I remember that bleach. I remember that. Oh shit, dude, that was nuts, man. I'm glad you're okay. Yeah, I as much as I'd love to like prank call the KKK, um, I don't know what they're capable of. Like, I wouldn't want to fuck with those guys. Hold on, I'll be right back. I need to go see what this little dog is up to upstairs because he's going nuts. I'll be right back, guys. Some asshole is shooting off fireworks, and it's not even the 4th of July yet or remotely close to it. It's literally like 4th of July is literally like 2 weeks away, and there's some asshole up there shooting off fireworks. And Ziggy hates fireworks. Actually, he used to not mind them, and my other dog started barking at them. Then all of a sudden, he's just like, "Holy shit, that's bad! Woof, woof!" He joined the bandwagon. It's like he's literally like those people that like didn't mind Eminem at first, and then like people started hating on him, so he like they joined the Eminem like hate bandwagon. No, honestly, I've never really been a fan of Eminem because like I've never really listened to rap that much, but I mean, I do occasionally, and I think he's all right. I mean, his new stuff's absolute shit, but I mean, his older stuff's not bad at all. But yeah, Ziggy is a cryptid. Have you guys ever seen him? Have I ever shown you him? Have I ever shown you this little guy? He's a little piece of shit, but I love him. This is the face of evil. Oh, that is the face of evil. Oh no, he hates people. But look at that. Oh, oops, that's the same. There you go. And then that's Stitch. He's old. And then there's Daisy, the weird little guinea pig. I think you guys met Daisy before. She's a good kid. Oh shit. And then this is my friend's corn snake. Shout out to you, Molly. That's actually a really badass snake. It's a little dick, but oh my god, I didn't know you were watching. Hey, how are you? Yeah, I didn't know you were watching. Hey, how are you? I swear I gave you that. Yeah, that snake that I just showed is Mercury's snake. Oh no, I cannot show that live on the channel. That'll be bad. This is my bird. He always throws like little tantrums like that. Like he does weird dances and shit. Who the fuck is vacuuming? Thank you. Oh, thanks, Lily. I'll be right back. Who the heck is vacuuming right now? I'll be right back. I'm back. So, yeah, my dad was vacuuming his room or something because the old dog pees in there sometimes because he's old, and apparently his room smells like pee or some shit. So he decided to pour some like powder on the ground and vacuum it up to get the pee smell away. But that's not. But so that's the source of the vacuuming. I thought at first someone was mowing the grass. Guys, I should really stream for my second channel again at some point so you guys can just like hear like my random ass rambling on about shit like that. I don't know if you guys would like that, but just weird, just like me going off topic rambles and stuff. I don't know. I feel like that would be kind of fun to do sometime. Like I got this box cutter here, or this X-Acto knife. Like, just I don't know if I'll do it at the wall. I'll try out something like more forgiving styrofoam. God damn it! It didn't stick. Hold on. I did not do that. Okay, guys, we're gonna see if I can actually get this X-Acto knife to stick. Ready? Okay, so this is what I'm aiming for. It just bounces off. I think I broke the blade a bit one time. Let me just try this way. Like I'm gonna chuck it like a spear. Hell yeah. I got it. I'm the best spearman. All right, let's go for like the fifth one in a row. There we go. Let's try 6. Oh, I pierced the sandbag. Hell yeah. All right. Number 7. Number 7. Lucky number 7. Fuck yeah. Okay, back to Bigfoot. Yeah, I'm a total badass, guys. In the 1860s, newspapers in Michigan reported that similar creatures had been seen several times around Lake St. Clair in the Lake St. Clair region. A little later, in 1869, wild men were reported as having been seen in Iowa, while the Pennsylvania newspapers carried similar stories in 1874, followed by Indiana newspaper reports in 1895 and 1897. Okay, believe it or not, that is actually my dad's. This is his, like, essentially this is his room. He's gonna like this room eventually is gonna be like his love child. He's literally gonna love this room more than he loves me right now when he's finished. But hold on. Let me unplug this. Here, I'm gonna give you guys a little tour here. So literally he's gonna fuck up my studio essentially, and he's gonna make it like his own like little like ship room. He's gonna make it literally look like we're inside a fucking ship or something. I don't know, but he's got the mirror there. He's got that. He's got all this weird zany stuff. That right there, that whale, that little one right there. I made that back in high school. I was so proud of myself, but I don't know. It's all right, I guess. um, that treasure box he bought like at an antique mall for like $70. Um, that's a picture from Hawaii. I made that back in high school. We don't talk about that. I'm actually not even really going to show that because it's shit. That's a model my cousin destroyed and that my dad is still very pissed off about. So yeah, Ross, you crushed this man's dreams. More shit. That's his new model. Shells. More shit. That little tiki guy in the background that you see, if you can even see him, I don't even know. Oh god, that was my nose. And yeah, just all of this another Hawaii picture. He's got a fake harpoon, all that shit. This literally looks like a dead body right here. If it's even on camera, that thing looks like a dead body on the bed, but it's not. It's actually a mermaid. That's a coconut monkey. And just a shelf and a lamp and a pot. Not the smokable kind. He even did that with the light. But yeah, this room eventually is going to be my dad's love child, so I need to move this. I need to move the studio at some point to somewhere better. Maybe a place where I can actually get better reception than in the fucking basement. I would love that. I really, really need a new studio, a place that I can like make my own, have better signal. Oh, maybe I could do my closet. I have fun. Maybe after this, I might do a little searching around the house, see if I can find a place I can do my studio. Um, Getting high while talking about cryptids. Oh no. I've honestly never done drugs before, but um, so I don't know. Like, I need to find a new studio. Like, I just walk around my room a little, like around this house a little bit. Maybe make a new studio. Maybe I could even do the closet that I showed you guys in that one year anniversary ghost hunt special, or I could just do it like in the unfinished part of the basement where the fucking mice are, or I could just literally just build like a pillow fort every episode and just reconstruct it. Like I can literally just reconstruct, like make a pillow fort reconstructed every episode. Oh my god. Oh my god. Literally. Okay. So I was up working on that food truck this weekend, and the one lady who was in charge of the event, she's like, "Hey, how old are you?" And I'm like, "I'm believe it or not, I'm 21. I'm gonna be 22 this like in August, this coming up August." And she's like, "I'm actually really shocked. You look 12." Like I look a lot younger than I really am, but like yeah, somebody's like literally someone thought I was 12 years old this week, and I'm like, "Oh my god." Like I look like honestly, I look about like I'm 16, 15 maybe. I don't even know, but yeah, like they're like somebody thought I was 12 years old. I'm like, oh fuck no, I'm not. I'm not that young. I'm not even really that young. I can honestly drink, but I've honestly never had alcohol yet because my doctor says if I drink alcohol while I'm taking my sleeping pills, I can die. So I haven't even had alcohol yet. I'm gonna get off those pills soon, and then I'll have like a shot of like sweet, sweet, sweet tequila or something. And that bleach is what we call a legal lolly. Somebody who looks young but is actually like older than you think. Let me actually see something here. Okay. We'll do one more. We'll do one more. We'll do one more section here. Okay, and honestly, I would consider a beard. It's just the one thing is I don't like facial hair like on me personally. Like if I let it grow for like a few days, it just looks like really bad. Like I don't like it. So I'm like I just don't like the feeling of it. I like smooth. So I don't know if I like a beard or not. Yeah, I'm not a fan of facial hair. I mean, literally, like honestly, I feel like if I grew a beard, like I just let it get too out of control, and I look like one of the Mountain Monster guys or Duck Dynasty dudes. Then I'd probably have to say like something controversial or something, and get like my show banned or something if I like just in the spirit of having that like a super ass long beard. Maybe in the future, I don't know. I mean, as of now, not right now, but maybe I'll change my mind. Like I could get like a huge ass like lumberjack beard, like go in the woods. Like I could just wear plaid every episode. Like carry like a fucking axe with me every episode. Just like slam it down on this like just like slam it down on the table back there and be like, "What's good, guys? This is Cryptocast." The Bailey show on the internet. We're gonna chop down some trees. We're gonna go fucking find Bigfoot by deforestation. We'll destroy his home, and then we can find him and bring him into ours. Yeah, you guys have the right to beat me up if I ever do that again. Okay, so mysterious intruder. In the 1860s, newspapers in Michigan report that similar creatures had been seen several times around this Lake St. Clair region. A little later, in 1869, wild men were reported as having been seen in Iowa, while the Pennsylvania newspapers carried similar stories in 1874, followed by Indiana newspaper reports in 1895 and 1897. Stories in 1874, followed by the Indiana newspaper reports in 1895. Okay, yeah. One of the most detailed and interesting of these mid-19th century reports came from the hunter working near Antioch, California in 1869. He had found a good site on which to pitch his camp. That can honestly be taken one of two ways. He found a good site on which to pitch his camp. I'll let you take that whichever way you guys want. But soon noticed that while he was out hunting during the day, something had come into the area. The ashes of his fire had been scattered around, and there were footprints that looked like those of a man, except for their immense size. Curious, the man decided to hide in a patch of brush, which gave him a good view of his camp. After 2 hours, he was rewarded when the mysterious invader arrived. Oh shit, it's about to get real. The creature, whatever it was, stood about 5 feet, 152 centimeters high, and disproportionately broad and square at the shoulders, with arms of great length. The legs were very short, and the body was long. The head was small compared with the rest of the creature, and it appeared to be set upon the shoulders without a neck. The whole was covered in dark brown and cinnamon-colored hair, quite long in some parts, the head standing in shock and growing close down to the eyes. The first camper. After looking around carefully, the creature kicked the embers of the campfire. Then it bent down and picked up a stick, which it whirled around its head, producing a circle of smoke. After the glowing end of the stick had gone out, the beast threw its head back and whistled, after which it picked a second stick again and swung it around. After about 15 minutes, the creature was joined by another, a female, unmistakably, when both turned and walked past me within 20 yards of where I sat and disappeared into the brush. Okay, so this Bigfoot was literally like, "Fuck you, fuck your camp." Just, just kick the ashes of his fire, like put his fire out or something. Set the end of his stick on fire, whirled it around, sent smoke signals until another one came, and then they just yeeted out of there. Given the date of the encounter, the writer's reference to the second creature being unmistakably female would probably mean that it had breasts. The hunter concluded by saying, "Okay, also guys, actually no, I'm not even gonna say it." The hunter concluded by saying what he had met one other hunter who had seen the creatures, about a dozen more who had seen mysterious, gigantic, human-like footprints. The acceptance of this reality of the creatures by those who spent a lot of time in the forested um, hills is a feature of the early cases that surfaces again and again. Okay, I honestly have seen a lot of weird ass Bigfoot porn, and like all the women Bigfoot have like these massive breasts. That just reminded me of that. The educated townsfolk who wrote and read the newspapers were amazed by the stories of wild men, but the hunters and trappers were not. In 1895, a man by the name of Riley Smith was picking berries near Winston, Connecticut, when his bulldog came dashing out of the patch of woodland. Was whimpering and trying to hide behind him. Smith stood up to see a large man, stark naked and covered with hair all over his body, emerge from the trees. The instant the wild man saw Smith, he gave a terrifying yell, then turned and fled back into the woods. Smith later admitted that he had been paralyzed with fear. Meanwhile, the unusual creatures were beginning to be called gorillas. In the newspaper reports, indifference in deference to the newly discovered great apes of the African forests. The idea what the sightings were of men gone wild was gradually dropped in favor of the idea that they were gorillas or similar apes escaped from zoos or traveling shows, as a newspaper report from Arkansas. If this meets the eye of any showman who has lost one of his collection of beasts, he may know where to find it. At present, it is the terror of all women and children in the valley. It cannot be caught, and nobody is willing to shoot it. The last comment is interesting because it is the first appearance in print of a feature of many later Sasquatch sightings. Several hunters have had a Sasquatch square in the sightings of their rifle, only to find themselves unwilling to shoot. There is something about the Sasquatch that seems to be human, so that would make killing one something like murder. Others have been less squeamish and have blasted away a Sasquatch without compunction, but at least to date without much effect. All right, guys. So we are on page 20 right now. We only got to like page 20 out of this 205-page book. So if you guys like this book, we'll bring it up again on the channel and finish it. All right, guys. So if you guys like this video, be sure to like it. If you dislike it, you can dislike it. But I heard if you dislike it, the Chickley Cuddler will come over and just peer in your window at night and try to give you a cuddle. So the only way to ward him off is by liking this video. So be sure to do that. Yeah, and I should do Sea Cryptids at some time. I think I may have at one point. I could always go back and revisit it because there were so many others that I could do. But yeah, I'll definitely do that. So, if you're new to the channel as well, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Become a member of the Crypto Crew today. I do videos like this all the time. Next week, I may do Sea Cryptids next week. I'll have to see which ones I talked about, which ones I didn't, but I can go back and do that. I can definitely do that for you, Bleach. Unless my Bigfoot guy's back, and then we can talk more about a Bigfoot stream that we've been planning for a little bit. So, yeah, I'll see what I can do. So, with that being said, guys, okay, this is not sponsored. I just grabbed this. I don't know why, but Gorilla Glue, really good wood glue. Buy it or something. Please sponsor me. So, yeah. So next week I might do Sea Cryptids unless my Bigfoot guy is back, and then we'll do that. But I'll definitely do Sea Cryptids again at some point. So again, guys, I hope you guys have a great week. I know this video is a little late because of my work week this last week, so I hope you guys don't mind that it was a little late this week. I mean, at least I still got to do it, which was good, and I got my Luska Cryptid ratings videos up. So this next cryptid ratings video I'm going to be doing soon is going to be about the Dover demons suggested by someone, and then I am going to be doing some other ones that I have been suggested as well. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching Cryptocast. I'm your host, Parker. Stay spooky. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys. Chickley Cuddler. What the fuck is that?